What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another one. It's your boy 9. Welcome back to wanted to kind of take a look at what we have here with what I do believe was the Alberta ritual. And if you weren't around for the other video, we kind of discussed Prism, the drummer here, Rocket Norton passing away at the age of 73. And we went all throughout that as to what happened with that. Check out the other video linked it below for that. But just was searching up Alberta news. No, I wasn't. I was searching up just news generally, and these reports kept coming in from yesterday, the day after the eclipse, and just real quick, kind of giving you a sneak peek as to what's to come in regards to this, so you kind of know what's going on. You know, even the word eclipse has got that 33 in it, right? So this man passed away at 33 years old. Kyle, he passed away. May he rest in peace. Passed away at 33 years old. And this is the day his news was reported the day after the eclipse. Obviously, he may have passed away before that, but that's when they reported it. And I was kind of sliding through. I saw this as well. Alberta family of 6 missing, and that was reported as a whole family, like everybody. It's missing. It's ridiculous. I'm chuckling because I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's ridiculously random to see that same day report, April 9th. And in both cases, in both stories, like I'll kind of even show you quick. In both stories, they were both kind of last heard of on April 3rd. So for this gentleman, he was seen at April 3rd. That's when he first found what happened to him. This family up here, April 3rd, we're going to take a look. I have a link for that to kind of take a look for you to see that. But I digress. That's what you were kind of getting right off the bat. And on top of that, this gentleman, his name is Buta, he also passed away. May he rest in peace. He passed away, and that was reported on the 9th as well. So if this story, you know what I mean, all reported at the same time. All reported at the same time. And obviously that's just life, how it works. Multiple things happen, but I found it kind of odd. And then if you're kind of looking at it, in that story where 2 people passed away, one person was critically injured, the other gentleman who passed away was 49, and it was reported on the 9th of April of 49, symbolism. But you're kind of getting this gentleman as well passing at 57. We're going to come back to that. I will come back to that and let you know exactly what that's all about. But going forward with that, something random also was in the news about the home plate lady, and that being a big thing on Twitter, and it having its own hashtag and all that sort of stuff. And that was also something that was reported because the game they're speaking about happened on the eclipse the day before. So this is the report, right? So all these things happen at the same time. Now we're kind of taking a look at it, and right away you're kind of seeing that 4-9, and not to give you anything not fresh, I'll show you what's going on. And also realize that 39, before I cancel this, that 39 that you're seeing in Eclipse, even if it's just to do this, check it out for a second. 39, right? Then we go back to the closest one. Go back to this one. Go up, right? That lady, Winnie Manny, I don't know if she's passed or not, so I'll just kind of leave it there. 39. That 18 comes up a lot as well today. And like I'll show you the 24, but 39 right away is kind of catch my eye there. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but it's kind of crazy. But anyways, what I was going to show you had a lot to do with this actually, right? Both equal 49. They're both coming up on that same time. So for the 39 with the eclipse with this lady, and also 39 also equals 33. For all those who forgot, go to the blue cipher for that. That's the one that reduces the alphabet from just simply A being that to kind of reducing it down to 1 to 8, to 9, and then kind of going back to those cycles. You get this 1 to 9, 1 to 9, and it goes finally 1 to 8. But in this cipher, Eclipse was 33. So kind of just showing you that. Now, why this matters, right? And kind of getting into that with everybody kind of passing away and all of these sorts of things, and us getting into the Blue Jays situation. We also have the date April 3rd coming up. It's another 94 symbolism. The date April 3rd coming up. I'll show you that. That's the 94th day of the year. So kind of giving you a sneak peek. 2 times 47, keep that in mind. But kind of giving you a sneak peek as to what was to come with the news coming up with the 4-9 symbolism here. So going back to this, another symbolism of that 4-9, I'm happy it's up, is that 57. I already have it up. 57 goes back to Buddha. Buddha passed away at 57 years young. And that was telling because it's also the date numerology, right? Now, that 2 and 1 could also represent the 21 date numerology, right? But I do believe it represents the 201 numerology, and we're going to get into that. It is coming. Finding another connection here, the Manny family, we kind of spoke about how weird it was that, 6 people are missing, reported, his whole family reported missing on that day, and their name popped up a lot for that as well. So I just took the 2 ciphers. You get the ABC 123 cipher, and the one that reduces, and you get them into the actual date numerology itself, that 19, that 37. So they pop up coincidentally for those who are new here on that same time. And then you kind of scroll down a bit more, you get the whole cipher, you get everything that's going on. But we get this news about the Calgary man missing on the 20 on that date as well, which has that 21 date numerology in it. AMA, we're going to get into this. We are going to get into this right now, actually. I'll show you what's going on with that. AMA is a festival that comes up. For those who don't know how I do things, there is a pagan calendar A to Z listing. Just kind of show you for any date if you want to find. I do believe that our world has the calendar that we know of, so the big holidays, Christmas, that sort of thing, birthdays. But then there's other dates that aren't thought of that you do not get work days off of. That is random work days that you wouldn't even know that may or may not have symbolism in them. So I checked them out, and one of them is AMA Festival, and that was supposed to be on the 9th of April, is what is supposed to normally come around. The reason why is because the April 9th and that sort of stretch into May has the third moon. The third moon means a lot to this festival. It's a festival of water. It's a festival talking about female deity, and kind of got me thinking about my friend and yours. Okay? And I'm just going to say it's a daggone shame that we can't know more about this and what its symbolism is. Right back down to the mud flood, guys. Literally right back down to the mud flood from this. And it's fish symbolism, but the tie between it isn't just fishy to me. It's something I actually found numerologically. Okay, so we're kind of checking it out. 21, that came back to the date numerology, the AMA festival we're speaking about. Buddha, who comes up again, his full name. So I'll go up here again. I don't know this gentleman at all, may he rest in peace. But just his name came up a lot. With all of these dates popping up. I can even kind of show you what that matches, just to kind of see if there is anything that matches. It does. It matches that too. That's crazy. I'll show you what I mean by that. But anyways, the 210, that kind of represents the 21. The light blue cipher above. So what that means in that little thing is this: if I do over here, go here, clickety click, pop a trick, you got 75, right? And 75 symbolizes Gary F. Weinstall. If you don't know who that is, for all those who are kind of new, we kind of spoke about that in the last blog as well. This gentleman's name, Rocket Norton's actual name, is Gary Weinstall. I'm going to show you that real quick. Yeah. So you kind of seen that as well. That's him. So the fact that he kind of matches up here, kind of weird. But this is what you get for 75 in that list so far. I'm always adding to the list as to what else equals this in that same cipher, that same numbers. But this is what you're getting. You're getting what you're getting. Okay. And kind of going back to this, he equals 75. So the fact that he passed away is 57, which is the flip. It's kind of weird to me. Now the AMA symbol in the fish, obviously we kind of spoke about that. The fish, okay guys, stay with me here. Fish, AMA Festival, Dagon, Mariners, Seattle Mariners. Okay, you saw how I did that? Talking about the fish symbolism, all right? That have a lot to do with that day. At the same day that happens, we get this game on the Eclipse. The game is the Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays, okay? So we're kind of getting that respective time. Now, maybe it's just another coincidence out of the random coincidences we've gone through so far. Maybe it's not, right? Now 3-5. I'm not a date predictor, nor am I somebody who's going to come out and tell you, yo, this is what's going to help you win tonight. None of those things. I do find random stuff though like this. Like I'll give you an example. That thing that we're looking at, that 3-5 score, right? We kind of talked about, okay, just stay with me here. Mine was a dagon, okay? The dagon chain. We're going to keep it there, okay? Now, when we were doing that, we know that the cathodes, and some of this other stuff is there. And I wanted to do this and show you this as well. That it is kind of random. You know, that this kind of shows up. I'll show you what I mean if I can. Maybe if I do this. I am on this mudflood tartaria stuff as well. And I thought it was kind of random because they were talking about cathodes. And that's what it is, but it's hard to find unless I search it myself, kind of on the random. But this guy's a shill, by the way. It's so crazy. Just make your own content. Like, don't go out and shill other people's stuff. Just make, if you want to comment on, like, you know, something bad on somebody's video, that's one thing. But I always feel like people who are folks who are kind of like exposing truthers, that's all of their content is literally just taking other people's content and just saying like this that it doesn't exist. Like literally, it's somebody else's content that he's critiquing. So, anyways, I think it's in one way it's ingenious, another way it's kind of lame because it's like, dude, what is your ideas for yourself? But anyways, one day I will find that cathos thing. Maybe I'll just link it in the bottom to kind of show you what I'm talking about. But regardless, going back to the blog itself, 35 shows up. That has a lot to do with the Catholic symbolism. That's all that really was. And that was just the numbers behind it. For that day, again, kind of tying into everything, thought it was kind of random. When you get into the actual Seattle Mariners themselves, they just played their 170th game. Let's prove that. Let's go down. Let's check out the head-to-head. Let's see. So this is Toronto versus the Mariners head-to-head, all-time. And they played their 170th game. So you can see it. So they're going to the 171 because everyone can add 1 to whatever value. It's pretty easy numbers-wise. And when we screw it up, what you can see is the 171, the 170 have lots to do with Seattle itself. So we can go to this, Seattle Mariners, maybe equal 62 in that cipher. We're going to go out of that. The two ciphers are picked over here. The Latin ordinal and Trigomatin Kabbalah. Say that 5 times fast, please. I just will have to do this. There you go. This 170 is 171. There's also this 18 tie. Trying to get onto that a bit as well. It's kind of weird what I found, but yeah, that's just what they equal. They're both playing each other in both of those collective games. You know, Blue Jays won the last game. I have no clue who's going to win the next game, to be super honest with you. However, found it weird, okay, that it's happening at 3:07 p.m., all those sorts of little ties, because they're not just random arbitrary numbers. I mean, for running out loud, for yelling out loud, for crying out loud, 33.3% got me all tongue twisted, if you will. I cannot believe that we're seeing that as something that's reputable. But anyways, this was something as well. Seattle came in at 4-7 because they were down 4-8, and Toronto equals 470. And you kind of see that 4-7 tie. Toronto was 5-6. Home plate lady, which was circling the webs, was also 5-6. Now they're 6-6, just like Eclipse. Put that in there. Try to see what I'm talking about. All right. I didn't even do the other one. I'm doing this. I didn't even do the other one. 4-8, and Mariners went 4-8. I cannot believe this. All on the Eclipse. And yeah, so you can see that for yourself there. And that all happened. Again, we're not predicting the date, we're not predicting the dates or any of that stuff, but this is something that is apparent. You can literally see it. There's other channels who do predictions. There's tons of them. I'm just not one of them. But I do this. And you have Shuling, may he rest in peace, 48. You know, that's what I saw. I saw that his last name equaled 48. And they went 4 and 8, so like, what the heck? But going back into him, is it random that this is all happening? Do you remember this? Do you remember the time? Okay? Do you? Da da da. Do it up. Do you remember the time? And if you do, July 25th, 2022 was a historic date because they came back to apologize to the First Nations people. A lot of mudfoot symbolism here, probably, that I don't know about, but First Nations people were here and they were abused. Won't go too deep into it. It's a lot of channels that cover SRA. I've watched tons of SRA content in the past and so forth. And before I got into this gematria stuff. And anyways, long story short, these guys were definitely trifled with, and he came back to apologize. He did that on the 25th of 2022, as I said. That date has symbolism to him. Boop, right? I kind of show up right away, and there's an 18. We kind of talked about that a little earlier too, but we'll leave that alone. Oh, there's a friend. Oh, there's our friend. But let's go over here, right? I'll keep it simple. All right, what's this government? All right, and now obviously everybody knows about this one. You know, I get that. That's a big one. That is a really big one to know about. And I've covered that in other blogs, and I'll cover it in future blogs, but just kind of staying on topic. That 206 was big. I almost clipped it. I've been so used to making a new clip and sharing it to do something. It's almost clipped it. But anyways, 206 showed up, and that was the 206th day of the year. Gematria, which I was originally going to show you, this base cipher. Get rid of the reverses, keep it forward. Of course, has nothing to do with this, right? Shows up on that date as well for the symbolism, and then 56. We kind of talked about home plate lady. Well, how about face suits? They also show up on that date in numerology as well. And if you didn't know, this is the first Jesu Pope ever. So you can kind of see how that ties together. But yeah, that's what that is. And the blog kind of talks about Catherine the Great and their old saving the order and how that kind of worked out as well. Now, that span of dates, because it has its own history, going back from that date to where this is, you get this year and 37 dates. I'll show you. Year and 37 dates. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Right? Not that one, this one. Yeah. And then I need to open lights to that. All of this one showing the properties. That's just me being a rookie. But anyways, you can see what I mean. If I get rid of the end date, then you can kind of see it's that 137 tie. And it is similar to this, home plate lady. So the home plate lady could do this. It's got 137 tie in it. It's just crazy. 33rd prime. The story really tells itself, folks. Okay? Passed away at 33. Cal Gossman, who's 33 years old right now, he is the current Toronto Blue Jays pitcher. I do not know anything about baseball. I'll be super real with you. However, the fact that he shows up and all these kind of like symbolism, he's playing at the exact same day, that was kind of weird. Then you also have this Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 266 Pope. When this whole came down, this April 9th date I'm speaking about, it was 266th day of the year. So it is kind of weird that you're getting like that tie again. It's just all of these constant ties. A year, 260 days. What am I talking about? That's the span of, you just get rid of this and you just include the end date. So this is your first Mississippi and that's your last Mississippi. You're starting at one Mississippi. You get to this many, okay? And when you do that, that also equals, Buddha, may he rest in peace. It keeps showing up. I told you before. I'll show you all the ciphers, economies, reverse Sumerian. course, that's not important anymore, right? Nobody ever uses this. Again, it's one of those things where I feel like they do use these, and they don't tell us about it. But here you go. So you have this 1260, excuse me, and it equaled this Hamas leader thing, and that goes into like a decode I had, which I won't go into right now. But it goes into this whole thing of this guy being reported, you know, he passed away on a certain date. I went into exactly what that was. It's crazy. But anyways, he equaled him, Hamas leader anyway, the name, and I think the actual guy. And then there's the war and the Black Pope, which, if you don't know, for all those who are in the know, you're in the know. And who that would be is right? I think he right now is still the dude, and yeah, he's still the guy. And when he's done being the guy, then it's gonna be another guy. But like basically, this gentleman is the person who, I don't even know how to tell you, military action. I can't prove like with a photo and an Instagram hashtag that he's the guy doing gematria. I can't prove that, but his name shows up a lot. Let's put it like that. And yeah, I will leave it there. There's also the other day span you can do with this. So there's just a variety of different day spans you can kind of do to get to the exact same date. One of them is this. Yeah, this one right here. Let's get rid of the end date. 2015. And then again, our friend shows up again, may you rest in peace, on that exact time. You do squares, which again, another one of those ciphers that are known to be complicated because it's something you regularly don't see, but it's used a lot. So we might not see it a lot, but it's used a lot. And I see it a lot when I'm doing this sort of stuff. And you kind of see it show up here. And again, it's like his name equaled 3 random ciphers that humanity barely ever uses. And it all equaled on that date. And 2 people passed away and 1 person was injured. So you get this like 201 thing, or just simply 21. Both equal that same date anyway. So it's uncanny. Now look, check this out. The April 9th, 25th going the other way. So now we're doing an anniversary. It's an anniversary, guys, of when he came down and apologized, right? It's the 25th. That's 15 weeks, 3 days away. This nation showed up. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that nation showed up. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And this guy died at 33. I'm just kind of like, are we talking about a complete ritual here? Like where it happened, that's a symbolism date, and now for symbolism reasons, we're getting, these reports. We don't know. There's an investigation to find out what happened to him. Nobody knows how. Because he was found, right, like burned alive after the eclipse. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of different types of things happening, and the whole point of this is to show you that these news articles, just type in news, sure it'll pop up. These news articles that you can check out, they're tied. I do all of these. Some of them sound boring, like that sounds boring as hell, but a lot of these are tied together, and they seem to be apart, or they seem to be random, but a lot of them are tied towards these like random numbers that you would see. But anyways, check it out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Alberta's getting hit with a bunch of gematria rituals. Is what it looks like. Again, no one's waving the gematria guy. We don't have the gematria police out there, but this is basically a gematria decode, and you can kind of check it out. Let me know what you think, man. Some of the hidden symbolism that you wouldn't think that's around that actually is around. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll come out with another one because regardless, there's going to be more news coming out, so you can catch this on Rumble, on YouTube, and